Hey, Meghann Scully, and this is the Limerick Post Show. And joining me is Miriam McCarthy from the Health Sciences Academy and Roisin Catalan from the University of Limerick to chat to me all about the Careers and Health Science Fair taking place for transition year students on the 2nd and 3rd of March. So I know there's a lot involved here. We've got UL Hospital Group, HSE, Limerick and Clare Education Training Board, and Limerick Education Centre. So some really great organisations involved there for the transition year students. So Miriam, we might go to you first. Can you talk to us a little bit more about the fair?
So Megan, just a couple of points there. So my role is Health Sciences Academy Manager. So what the Academy is, it's a partnership between the University of Limerick, the UL Hospitals Group, and the Midwest Community Healthcare Organisation. So what we're doing with our Early Careers event, which is happening next week, the 2nd and 3rd of March, is we're showcasing for TY students in the region what it's like to work in health as a career across a variety of professions. We're giving them an opportunity to listen to clinical staff working in hospital, in the community environment, hear from the students in the University of Limerick who are studying the health science programs, and academic staff as well who are involved in delivering the programs. So really to give them a flavour of a career in health and hopefully help inform their subject choices and their future career choices.
And Roisin, I'm a UL alumni myself, so I'm always going on about how great a campus it is for so many reasons. But I guess it's so important for these, I suppose, UL prospective students to come and to kind of get a flavour of what is on offer.
Absolutely. And that was one of the main things we considered when we were designing this. We wanted future students to hear from the students that are actually doing it now. They can hear from us all we want, but to hear the nuts and bolts and what's good and what's bad and what they need to think about going forward as transition year students, to see if they're appropriate and to see if they'd like the courses that they might be hearing all about. So as Miriam was saying, we're going to hear from students right across the range of the health sciences over the 2 days. And they're going to be more senior students. So they're students that have really experienced what life is like pre-COVID and during COVID, and also who have been on placement, who understand what the academic rigor is like, what the requirements are, and what kind of personal attributes that you really need to engage in these professions. And that's really important because it's very hard for prospective students to understand what it's really like, but to hear from somebody who's of a similar age, who's going through it, right now, I think will really be a benefit to our TY audience.
I suppose as well, Roisin, it gives a bit of hope to them because they've had a really tough year, students, this past year, not seeing their friends, not being in school, not mixing, on this virtual world, and they are really missing that socialization. But I suppose giving them a taste of university life will hopefully be able to spark that kind of everything, I suppose, in them again.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult. I think the cohort kind of from that, for everybody, but that particular cohort of, mid-teens up until the mid-20s, early, late 20s, it's so incredibly difficult. And yeah, to see, that things are still going on. And the other thing that we've tried to emphasize is that this group of students have gained massive skills that they wouldn't otherwise have had. So that is one benefit of it. And it's brought us all on in terms of our technological delivery. I mean, we would have done this kind of event in previous years in person, and because of COVID, we're now delivering it online, and it'll allow us to bring this to a huge audience, much bigger than we've ever done before. So swings and roundabouts, I mean, I think we'll try and look at the positive. And there is, as you say, there's an end in sight. We'll get there, and to see, that it is still happening in spite of everything should be hopeful for students.
And Miriam, I suppose as well, with the past year and frontline workers and, everyone is really kind of, we're all supporting them, we're all behind them, we're all very much so very appreciative of them. And have you noticed maybe now a bigger interest in youngsters wanting to go down that maybe route of healthcare?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I think definitely healthcare as a career has been to the front for people in ways that they might not have been aware of previously. Certainly we've had good interest and good registration numbers for the Early Careers event that we're hosting next week. We've had huge interest, and it's been wonderful working with our partners with this, with the Limerick and Clare Education Training Board, the Limerick Education Centre, and equally with University, the Community, and the UL Hospital Group. So yeah, we're excited to see where this is going to go. Back in October, we did some brainstorming events with TY students across the region as well to get a sense from them, what did they want from an event like this? So we had this idea, but we wanted to make sure it was meeting the needs of the students, not what I thought that they wanted to hear. And that was really, really powerful. So it really has helped shape the content, and really what we're producing next week is as a result of what our students have said they want to know as transition year students, given that they can't go on placement, experience a clinical setting, which, in previous years you could. And, you know, I can speak for myself, my own background's physiotherapy, and I vividly remember going on placement and going to a community rehab hospital and thinking, that's what I want to do. And I can remember that so well. And just to try and give that sense. So hopefully will certainly inspire a generation to consider healthcare that might not have been on their radar before.
And can I add as well that I always say this, but I still think and stand by it. It is one of the greatest campuses in all of Ireland that I've ever been on. It's so picturesque. It's so beautiful. There is so much to do and see, even outside of lectures. And I have to say the standard of college living there and just being a student is second to none. And I think we can all agree that by the time these TY students come to college age, all will be normal again in the world, and they'll be able to go across that campus and experience everything that UL has to offer.
Absolutely. And I went to UCD, and I remember going to UL and thinking, I want to come here, but I was never going to be an engineer. So they didn't have the program at the time. So yeah, and I agree. It's a beautiful campus. It's beautiful. Yeah.
It's absolutely fabulous. So Roisin, if any students are watching or teachers and they haven't signed up yet, how can they get involved?
So we have distributed all the information to all the TY coordinators in the Midwest. So they, at this stage, hopefully will have sent it out to their students, just to remind students that they'll need to get parental consent to attend. They can just fill in that link and we have the information and we'll send that on to them. So if for whatever reason they haven't received that, to link in with their TY coordinator or to contact myself or Miriam, and we can certainly point them in the right direction. And just to also mention, there's a little research element to this project as well. So we want to get feedback from students about what they thought about the day, because hopefully this will be the first of many iterative events over the coming years. So we want to hear from students about what was good, what was bad, what can we do better next year. So that's also included in the form that they will fill in. So if people might consider doing that also, it would really help us and help future students to get the most out of this day.
I think it'll be absolutely wonderful. Of course, the career fair taking place start of March for the health sciences, and I think it'll, it's really great campus, as I said already, and I could probably stay going on and on about it, but I know they'll learn from the experts and hear from the students studying those degrees all about it. Thank you so much for chatting to us on the Limerick Post Show.
Thanks, Meghann.
Thanks, Meghann.